Hey friends, welcome to tonight's relaxing philosophy for sleep. This slow-spoken bedtime gentle narration is designed to help you unwind, clear your mind, and drift into a peaceful night's rest. As the night wraps around you, imagine yourself breathing deeply, your body relaxing with each exhale, and your thoughts slowing down as if each one is gently melting away. You probably never realized philosophy could lull you to sleep so peacefully, did you? But here's the thing, Stoicism, with all its calm wisdom, has been the secret tool of many throughout history to find peace amid the chaos of daily life. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And don't forget to share your location and local time in the comments. It's always interesting to see how far this journey spreads. Now, dim the lights. Maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum. And let's ease into tonight's journey together. Let's begin with something so simple, yet so powerful: breathing. The Stoics understood that our breath is one of the few things we have complete control over, no matter what life throws at us. Right now, as you settle in, notice the natural rhythm of your breath. Feel the air entering your lungs, expanding your chest, and then gently leaving. You don't have to force it, just let it happen. This is the Stoic art of breathing. You have the ability to control this simple, natural process, and by focusing on it, you can immediately begin to calm your mind. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, often reminded himself that if you are distressed by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it. Right now, your judgment is telling you that it's time to relax, to let go of all those thoughts that have been running through your mind during the day. You are choosing to slow down. You are choosing to breathe deeply, focusing solely on this very moment. This, my friend, is your first step toward calming your mind and moving toward that peaceful rest. Breathing is also the gateway to a profound Stoic practice called Memento Mori, remembering that life is fleeting. The idea is simple: you'll eventually leave this world. We all will. And while that might sound a bit morbid, it's actually one of the most freeing thoughts you can have. It reminds you not to take life, or anything in it, for granted. In the grand scheme of things, your worries, your stresses, your daily concerns are small. This moment, your life in its present form, is precious and it's all you have. So, as you breathe, let the knowledge of your fleeting existence create space for gratitude. Gratitude for this moment. Gratitude for the opportunity to just pause and be. The realization that life is short, and yet, in this moment, you are safe, you are at peace, and you are present. Memento Mori, the Stoics said. And it's their gentle reminder that everything passes, including the hardships you face today. You're still here, breathing, and that's enough now. Let's shift gears a little and dive into a key idea from Stoicism: the discipline of perception. It's not just about what happens to you, it's about how you perceive what happens. Your mind is a powerful tool, and it's capable of turning any situation into something that either empowers you or holds you captive. You have the ability to choose how to interpret the world around you. The Stoics would argue that external events don't have the power to disturb you unless you let them. The world might throw its challenges at you, but your perception of those challenges is entirely within your control. Take a deep breath and consider, what if everything that happened today, no matter how difficult, was simply an opportunity to practice your discipline of perception? What if you could see each challenge as a chance to grow stronger, to become more resilient? Imagine, for a moment, How much lighter life could feel if you chose to interpret everything with calm acceptance, instead of allowing it to rattle your peace. It's all in how you see things, and just by recognizing that fact, you've taken the first step toward becoming a master of your mind. Now, let's take this a bit further. Have you ever heard of the Stoic concept of Amor Fati? It's a fascinating practice. It translates to love of fate, and involves fully embracing everything that happens to you both, the good and the bad. Instead of wishing things were different, or trying to resist the flow of life, you learn to love your fate exactly as it is. You accept life's challenges as they come, and you even begin to love the difficult moments because you see them as opportunities for growth. It's like dancing with life sometimes. The rhythm is slow and smooth, and other times it's fast and unpredictable. But whatever the pace, you love the dance. So, right now, as you lie here, can you find a way to love whatever challenges you faced today? Can you embrace them as part of your journey? Perhaps there's a lesson in the struggles. Perhaps they were the moments that made you who you are. And perhaps, right now, they're the moments that are helping you slow down. Let go and drift off into a peaceful sleep. This brings us to an essential element of the Stoic philosophy, the importance of inner peace. No matter what happens on the outside, your true peace comes from within. It's easy to look at the world and think that peace is something that will come once. Everything falls into place once your job is secure, your relationships are smooth, and your life is free from stress. But the Stoics argue that true serenity is something you cultivate internally, regardless of external circumstances. Take a moment now to reflect on your own inner state. Is it calm, or do you feel the tension from the day still holding on to your body? In this moment, you have the power to release that tension. It's not about what happens to you. It's about how you react. The Stoics would say that peace comes when you learn to stop reacting to the world's chaos and instead find stillness within. As you continue breathing deeply, feel yourself sinking further into that stillness. Let go of the world outside and find the peace that resides within you. Finally, let's end with a thought on the Stoic view of silence. In today's fast-paced world, silence can feel like a rarity. The noise of our thoughts, our devices, and the world outside can make it hard to find true quiet. But the Stoics understood the power of silence. It's in the stillness that you can hear your own thoughts, that you can connect with your deeper self. Silence isn't just the absence of noise. It's a space of clarity and calm. And right now, as you lie here, you're embracing that silence. Let it envelop you. Let it clear your mind and prepare your body for rest. It's in this silence that the deepest wisdom often emerges. And as you breathe, know that you are cultivating that wisdom, and with it, the peace you seek. As you lie here, calm and present, let's continue this journey with a deep dive into the concept of Memento Mori, reminder of mortality that has fascinated philosophers for centuries. This isn't just about the inevitability of death. It's about appreciating life for what it is: fleeting, beautiful, and precious. Stoic philosophers, like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, constantly reminded themselves of this simple fact. Life is short, and time, once spent, cannot be recovered. Right now, as you breathe in and out, think about how often we get lost in the noise of daily life, worrying about the future or replaying the past. But Memento Mori brings you back to the present, urging you to embrace what's in front of you. Imagine, for a moment, that this very breath you're taking is a gift. It's a moment you'll never get back, and yet in this stillness, you have everything you need. The idea of Memento Mori is not meant to induce fear or sadness. Instead, it invites you to live fully, to experience each moment with awareness and presence. Death is inevitable, yes, but it is also a call to live more deeply, more meaningfully. It's a gentle invitation to drop the unnecessary burdens of worry and fear and simply be. So, as you settle deeper into this peaceful moment, remember that time is moving forward. Every inhale and exhale is a step forward in your journey, and this very moment is your life unfolding. This understanding of mortality leads naturally to the Stoic practice of the discipline of perception. How often do we interpret the world around us through the lens of judgment, criticism, and fear? Your mind, right now, may be racing with thoughts about what you have to do tomorrow, or perhaps there's lingering frustration from something that happened today. But here's the key. Those thoughts are not a reflection of the world as it is. They are a reflection of how you choose to perceive it. The Stoics believed that we don't control external events, but we do control how we respond to them. Right now, as you lie here, consider how you are choosing to perceive the events of your day. Is there any negativity that you're holding on to? Any judgments or frustrations that you can simply release? Take a deep breath, and with each exhale, imagine letting go of these thoughts. You have the power to let them drift away as easily as a leaf floating on a stream. The Stoics taught that our true power lies not in controlling the world, but in mastering our perception of it. So, as you breathe, consciously let go of any judgments or worries. Choose to see this moment for what it is: calm, peaceful, and filled with possibility. The world outside may be in chaos, but in here, in your mind, you have the power to create peace. As we continue to explore the Stoic mind, another fundamental concept that you will encounter is Amor, Fati, the love of fate. It's the practice of accepting everything that happens to you, not with resistance, but with love and gratitude. It's easy to love the good things in life, the moments of joy, success, and ease, but the Stoics challenged us to love the difficult things too. Imagine, for a moment, that you could embrace the challenges of your life, not as burdens, but as necessary parts of your journey. Maybe today was filled with obstacles, or perhaps you faced adversity in the past. But what if you saw those obstacles not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones, as opportunities to grow and strengthen your character? Amor Fati is about letting go of the desire for things to be different, for life to go exactly as you planned. It's about embracing each moment with open arms, knowing that every experience, good or bad, is part of your unfolding story. As you relax here, imagine yourself not resisting, but loving whatever life has thrown your way. Maybe you can even feel a sense of gratitude for those difficult moments, knowing that they are shaping you into a stronger, more resilient person. And as you breathe in, allow yourself to release any lingering frustration or resistance. Embrace your fate, whatever it may be, and let it wash over you like a peaceful wave. You are here, in this moment, exactly as you are meant to be. This practice of loving your fate naturally leads to a deep sense of inner peace. The Stoics believed that peace does not come from external circumstances, but from within. It's easy to look at your life and think, if only this situation were different, then I could finally be at peace. But here's the truth: true peace doesn't come from changing the external world. It comes from changing the way you react to it. As you lie here, think about any external factors that are currently troubling you. Maybe there's something in your life that you're struggling to accept. Perhaps there's a situation you want to change or control, but the Stoics would tell you that this desire for control is a source of suffering. Right now, in this peaceful space, you have the opportunity to let go of that desire. Imagine releasing all your need to control, to fix, to change things. You don't need to worry about what you cannot control. Your true peace comes from surrendering to the moment, accepting life as it is, without the need to change it. It's in this acceptance that peace arises. So, as you breathe, feel that peace filling you up, expanding through your body, your mind, and your soul. There's nothing more you need to do right now except be here in this moment. And as we move toward the final part of this section, let's reflect on the power of silence. In a world that's constantly buzzing with noise and distraction, silence can feel like a rare and precious gift. But silence is not simply the absence of sound, it's the presence of space. In silence, you have the room to listen to your own thoughts, to connect with your deeper self, and to simply be. The Stoics understood the power of silence. Marcus Aurelius often retreated into moments of quiet solitude to reflect and center himself. And in these moments of silence, he found clarity and peace. Right now, as you lie here, you have the opportunity to embrace that silence. Let go of the noise of the day, the worries, the plans, the distractions. In this space, you can find your true self, unburdened and at ease. As you breathe deeply, allow yourself to sink further into this silence, this stillness, and let it wash over you. In this moment, there is nothing you need to do except rest, accept, and simply be. As you continue to relax, gently settle deeper into the bed, your body growing more comfortable with each passing breath. The air around you feels soft, almost like it's holding you, supporting you, and you become more aware of the stillness that envelops you. In this quiet, slow-paced world, let's turn our focus to the Stoic concept of virtue as the only good. This idea is central to Stoic philosophy and might be one of the most liberating principles to consider. The Stoics believed that, above all else, virtue, meaning wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, is the only true good. Everything else in life, wealth, status, even pleasure, is secondary. As you lie here, consider this. If all external things can be taken away from you, money, success, love, what remains is your character, your virtue. Imagine for a moment that nothing external to you can truly harm your peace, because what truly matters is the virtue you embody. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." What does this mean for you right now? It means that, as you lie here, no external circumstance can dictate your inner calm unless you allow it to. Your peace, your serenity, and your sense of well-being are rooted in the virtues you cultivate. Think about how you can live with more wisdom, how you can embody kindness, or how you can approach life with courage in your heart. These virtues are within your control, no matter what happens around you. As you breathe, remind yourself that your worth does not come from outside validation, it comes from within. With every breath, you're reinforcing this inner strength, this virtue that cannot be taken from you. Now, let's reflect on how the Stoics viewed the nature of change. It's something they spoke of often, and it's a theme that runs through much of their work. Everything in life is subject to change. Nothing stays the same. The world around you is constantly shifting, evolving, and transforming. Just think about the changes you've experienced in your own life. How everything, your circumstances, your relationships, even your body, has evolved over time. Change is a constant, and Stoicism teaches us to embrace it rather than resist it. The Stoics weren't interested in trying to control the ebb and flow of life. Instead, they focused on how to accept and navigate change with grace. Right now, as you rest, consider what changes are happening in your own life. Maybe there's something you wish could stay the same. Or perhaps there's a situation you're resisting because it's uncomfortable. But here's the Stoic wisdom. Instead of fearing change, learn to flow with it. The Stoic philosopher Heraclitus famously said, "You cannot step into the same river twice," highlighting the truth that life is always in motion. And instead of fighting that flow, the Stoics advocated for adapting to it with resilience. As you breathe deeply, think about how you can become more flexible with the changes in your life. What if, instead of resisting, you embraced change as part of the natural rhythm of existence? Imagine how much more peace you could feel if you let go of the need for everything to stay the same and instead welcomed each new shift with calm acceptance. As you continue to breathe deeply, allow yourself to consider one of the most unusual yet deeply effective Stoic practices: negative visualization. This technique may seem counterintuitive at first. Why would you want to imagine the worst possible scenarios? But the Stoics used negative visualization not to wallow in negativity, but to prepare themselves for life's inevitable hardships. Imagine for a moment the worst-case scenario in your own life. What would it feel like if you lost everything? Your job, your home, your loved ones. While this might sound unsettling, the idea behind negative visualization is not to dwell in fear, but to foster gratitude for what you have right now. The Stoics believed that by contemplating the loss of what we cherish, we are more likely to appreciate it in the present moment. As you lie here, think about the things you are most grateful for, the people you love, the comforts you have, the opportunities you've been given. By considering what life might be like without these things, you become deeply aware of their value. And this awareness helps you cultivate a sense of peace and contentment, knowing that everything you have is a gift. The more you practice negative visualization, the more you realize that everything, in some way, is temporary. This doesn't mean you should live in fear of losing things, but rather, you can embrace the present more fully, knowing that each moment is a precious gift. As you relax, let this gratitude settle over you, deepening your sense of peace as you realize just how much you have right here, right now. Now, let's shift our focus to the unity of all things. Stoicism teaches that everything in the universe is connected. This might sound a bit abstract, but think of it this way. Just as the cells in your body work together to keep you alive, everything in the world works in harmony, even if we can't always see it. You, as an individual, are a part of a much larger whole. The Stoics believed that recognizing this interconnectedness can bring profound peace, because when you realize that you are not separate from the world around you, you begin to feel a sense of belonging. Right now, as you breathe and relax, imagine yourself as a tiny yet vital part of the vast, intricate web of life. Your existence, just like everyone else's, is part of a larger, ongoing process. And just like every leaf on a tree plays a role in the tree's growth, every person, every action, and every moment is part of this greater system. There is something profoundly comforting in the realization that you are not alone. You are part of a larger story, and your role, however small it may seem, is essential to the whole. As you breathe, feel a deep sense of connection to the world around you. You are one with everything: nature, people, the universe itself. This unity can bring you peace, knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. As we move deeper into this meditative space, let's reflect on the illusion of control. The Stoics often reminded themselves that they cannot control everything. In fact, they believed that the only thing truly within our control is how we respond to life's events. You cannot control the weather, the actions of others, or even the outcomes of many situations in life. But you can control how you respond to these things. Imagine for a moment that you are standing in front of a large river, the current rushing powerfully before you. You cannot control the river, nor can you stop the water from flowing. But what you can control is how you move with it. Do you resist the current, fighting against it with all your might? Or do you allow yourself to float, letting the water carry you along? The Stoics believed that peace comes when we stop trying to control what is beyond our reach and instead focus on how we react to the world around us. Right now, as you lie here, think about the things in your life that you cannot control. Maybe there are external circumstances that are frustrating or challenging, but instead of fighting them, consider how you can let go of the need to control everything. As you breathe, release the tension of trying to control the uncontrollable. Just let it go and feel the peace that comes with this release. As you continue to relax, let's explore a central idea in Stoicism that offers profound peace in the face of adversity. Living according to nature. The Stoics believed that true peace comes when we align our lives with nature's flow, embracing the natural course of things rather than fighting against it. Nature, in its purest form, operates without resistance, constantly shifting, adapting, and evolving. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus often spoke of the importance of accepting the natural order of things. Right now, as you lie here, imagine yourself in perfect harmony with nature. Imagine that, just like the trees sway with the wind, you too can bend with life's inevitable changes. The Stoics taught that trying to control life or force things to happen on your own timeline is what causes suffering. Instead, the goal is to align yourself with the natural rhythms of the world, letting go of the need for control and embracing acceptance. In the stillness of this moment, consider what might happen if you allowed yourself to move with the current of life instead of against it. Instead of resisting life's challenges, you could approach them with a sense of ease, knowing that you are part of a much greater system. Just as the seasons change, so too do your circumstances. This awareness doesn't make life easier, but it does make it more peaceful, because you accept that life is full of cycles, some easy, some difficult, but all necessary. So, as you lie here, relax into this thought. You don't have to struggle to make things happen. You just have to flow, like the river, letting life carry you forward. In keeping with this theme, the Stoics also talked about the power of self-sufficiency. This concept is deeply empowering. The Stoics believed that the key to true freedom and inner peace comes from being able to rely on yourself, rather than external things or other people. Imagine, for a moment, being completely content with yourself, independent of the world around you. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need things to be a certain way. You don't need to achieve something in order to feel complete. All you need is to know that you are enough, just as you are. Think about how empowering that is, the freedom that comes when you stop relying on external sources of validation and start looking inward for your worth. In this moment, as you lie here, think about how you can cultivate more self-sufficiency in your own life. What if, instead of depending on others or external circumstances for your happiness, you simply found contentment within yourself? This doesn't mean that you isolate yourself from the world, but rather that you find your strength in your own character, your own virtues, and your own sense of peace. The Stoics believed that happiness comes not from what you have, but from who you are. So, as you breathe deeply, remind yourself that you are enough. You have everything you need within you. And when you realize this, you open yourself up to a deeper peace that is unshaken by the external world. This brings us naturally to one of the most important Stoic concepts, the freedom of acceptance. The Stoics argued that true freedom comes not from getting everything you want, but from accepting what life gives you. In a world where we often chase after more success, more approval, more material wealth, the Stoics flipped this idea on its head. They taught that freedom comes from letting go of the desire for things to be different. This doesn't mean resignation or passivity. It means choosing to accept life as it is, without constantly wishing it were otherwise. Right now, as you rest here, think about how much energy you've spent in your life trying to control outcomes. Maybe you've worked hard for something, hoping it would bring you happiness, only to find that the outcome wasn't what you expected. The Stoics would suggest that the key to peace is in releasing the need for everything to be perfect. By accepting life's imperfections, you free yourself from frustration and disappointment. So, as you lie here, consider the areas of your life where you are still resisting, still wishing things were different. Can you accept those things exactly as they are? By doing so, you release yourself from the grip of frustration and open yourself up to the peace that comes with acceptance. Life doesn't have to be perfect for you to find peace. It only needs to be accepted as it is. With this in mind, let's think about the concept of virtue as the only true good in a practical sense. The Stoics believed that virtue's ability to act with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline is the only thing in life worth striving for. It's not about success, wealth, or approval from others. It's about living with integrity, following what's right, and remaining true to your values, no matter what happens around you. Imagine that right now you are living in complete alignment with your values. Picture yourself responding to challenges not with frustration or anger, but with wisdom and calm. Maybe something happened earlier today that made you feel upset, but in this moment, you have the power to choose how you respond. Instead of letting the event control you, you can take a deep breath, accept it for what it is, and respond with virtue. The Stoics believed that when we live with virtue, we are truly free, because we no longer depend on external circumstances to dictate our peace. This freedom, this inner calm, comes from living with purpose, with honor, and with integrity. As you lie here, think about what virtue means to you. How can you apply it to your life tomorrow? Maybe you can practice patience when things don't go as planned, or courage when faced with fear. The beauty of virtue is that it doesn't require external validation. It is simply the right way to live, no matter the situation. As you continue to relax, let's reflect on the concept of self-mastery. The Stoics taught that the ultimate freedom comes when you gain control over yourself. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or denying your desires. It means understanding them, recognizing them, and choosing how to respond. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Think about how often we allow our emotions to take over our actions, whether it's anger, fear, or frustration. The Stoics believed that true self-mastery comes from acknowledging these emotions without letting them dictate your actions. In this moment, as you relax, imagine yourself in complete control of your reactions. You are at peace with your emotions, accepting them, without being swept away by them. This self-mastery doesn't come from fighting your feelings, it comes from understanding and accepting them, and then choosing how to respond with calmness and clarity. As you breathe deeply, feel yourself gaining this control, this inner strength, that allows you to remain peaceful no matter what life throws your way. As you settle deeper into relaxation, let's explore the Stoic idea of the importance of inner peace. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in the noise, the demands, the distractions, and the constant busyness that surround us. We're often told that peace comes when we have enough success, enough approval, enough possessions. But the Stoics would challenge that idea. They believed that true peace does not come from what we have or don't have, but from how we relate to the world. True peace is an internal state, not something that depends on external circumstances. Imagine, for a moment, what it would feel like to be at peace no matter what is happening around you. Whether you're facing challenges or experiencing joy, peace remains constant because it's rooted in your own mind, not the ever-changing circumstances of life. As you lie here, consider how much of your inner peace depends on external factors. How much of your happiness is tied to things outside of your relationships, achievements, or possessions. The Stoics taught that while these things are nice, they are not essential to your happiness. You can choose to be at peace regardless of what's going on around you. In this moment, as you breathe deeply, practice letting go of any external concerns. Feel the peace that comes when you release the need for the outside world to be a certain way. You can be at peace right now, just as you are in this moment. The Stoics would say that this is the highest form of freedom, the freedom to be at peace, no matter what. This focus on internal peace leads naturally into the Stoic practice of negative visualization. This might sound counterintuitive, but it's actually one of the most powerful tools for cultivating peace and gratitude. Negative visualization is the practice of imagining the worst-case scenario. What would happen if you lost everything: your job, your home, your loved ones? The Stoics didn't use this technique to dwell on negativity, but to cultivate a deeper sense of appreciation for what they had. By imagining the worst, they became more aware of how fortunate they were in the present moment. Right now, as you lie here and breathe deeply, think about what you have in your life that brings you peace. Maybe it's your family, your health, your home, or even the simple ability to lie here and relax. Imagine, for a moment, losing those things. What would it feel like? By contemplating this loss, you are reminded of the value of what you have. Right now, this isn't about worrying or dwelling in fear, it's about fostering gratitude for the present moment. The Stoics believed that by practicing negative visualization, we can avoid taking the good things in life for granted and find peace in the understanding that everything is temporary. So, as you breathe, allow yourself to feel gratitude for what you have in this moment. Let it fill you with a sense of peace, knowing that everything is precious and fleeting. The practice of negative visualization ties closely to the Stoic belief in the unity of all things. According to Stoic philosophy, everything in the universe is interconnected. You are not separate from the world around you, but rather you are an integral part of the greater whole. Just as a leaf is part of the tree, you are part of the vast, interconnected web of life. This realization can bring profound peace, because it reminds you that your struggles and joys are part of something much larger than yourself. In this moment, as you breathe, consider your place in the world. Think about how everything, your thoughts, your actions, your relationships is connected to the greater whole. The Stoics believed that understanding this unity brings peace, because when you realize that you are not alone, you let go of the need to control everything. You can trust that the universe, in its infinite complexity, is working in harmony, even if you can't always see it. As you lie here, imagine yourself as a part of this vast, interconnected web. You are connected to everyone and everything. And your existence, though small in the grand scheme of things, is meaningful. This realization can help you feel a sense of belonging and peace, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be, playing your role in the greater story, thought the Stoics. Also taught that the illusion of control is one of the greatest sources of stress in life. How often do we find ourselves trying to control situations, people, or outcomes? The desire for control is natural, but it's also one of the biggest obstacles to peace. The Stoics understood that we cannot control everything. There are forces beyond our power, and the only thing we can control is how we respond to life. Imagine, for a moment, the things you've tried to control in your life. Maybe you've stressed over plans that didn't work out, or tried to change situations or people that were beyond your influence. The Stoics would tell you that the only thing worth focusing on is your response. Right now, as you lie here, think about the things in your life that you're trying to control. Can you release the need for control? Can you accept that some things are beyond your grasp and trust that, in time, they will work out as they are meant to? By letting go of the illusion of control, you free yourself from the stress of trying to manipulate life. Instead, you can simply respond to what comes your way with calmness and clarity. The Stoics believed that true peace comes from surrendering to life's flow, trusting that everything unfolds as it should, even when we can't see the bigger picture. So, as you breathe deeply, feel yourself letting go of the need for control. Allow yourself to sink into the peace that comes with this release. As we reflect on these Stoic teachings, it's important to remember the concept of self-sufficiency and independence. The Stoics believed that the ultimate freedom comes from relying on oneself rather than external circumstances or others. In today's world, we are often taught that happiness comes from external sources, whether it's a certain career, relationship, or material possession. But the Stoics would argue that true freedom comes when you are able to rely on yourself, to find contentment within, regardless of what happens around you. Imagine, for a moment, that you are completely self-sufficient. You don't need anyone's approval or anyone's validation. You don't need the world to be a certain way in order to feel at peace. All you need is your own inner strength and wisdom. The Stoics believed that by cultivating self-sufficiency, we can find true freedom from the need for external validation and from the stress of trying to control the uncontrollable. Right now, as you lie here, consider how you can cultivate more self-sufficiency in your life. How can you find peace within, regardless of the circumstances? You already have everything you need to be at peace. All you have to do is remember that. As you continue to relax, your body now fully supported by the bed beneath you, let's turn our attention to one of the most important Stoic practices, the freedom of acceptance. Life is filled with things that we cannot change, events that are outside of our control, people who act in ways we may not agree with, and circumstances that seem to happen regardless of our desires or efforts. The Stoics, however, taught that true freedom doesn't come from changing the world around us, but from accepting it as it is. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most well-known Stoic philosophers, often reflected on the importance of acceptance in his personal journals. He understood that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we do have control over how we react to it. Right now, as you breathe deeply and feel your body relax even more, consider how much of your stress comes from the things you wish were different. Is there something in your life that you're fighting against, something you wish would change or go away? The Stoics would invite you to take a deep breath and let go of that resistance. Imagine that you are no longer holding on to the need for things to be different. Instead, you are accepting them as they are, without judgment or frustration. This doesn't mean you have to like everything that happens to you. It just means you let go of the struggle, the constant fight against reality, and allow yourself to flow with what is. In this moment, imagine yourself accepting everything in your life exactly as it is, without wishing for it to be different. Feel how that acceptance brings a sense of peace, a weight lifted off your shoulders. You are free because you are no longer trying to control what is beyond your reach. You are free to simply be in this moment just as you are. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity. The Stoics didn't advocate for doing nothing or resigning ourselves to suffering. Instead, they believed that acceptance was a choice we could make in how we face challenges. In fact, some of the most powerful Stoic practices, like Amor Fati, the love of fate, are rooted in the idea that we should not only accept life's challenges, but embrace them. Imagine, for a moment, that everything in your life, the good, the bad, the easy, the hard, was meant to be part of your journey. What if you could learn to love the things that make you uncomfortable, seeing them as opportunities for growth and wisdom? By embracing this mindset, you free yourself from the need for life to be perfect, because you begin to love it exactly as it unfolds. This is the true power of Amor Fati, loving your fate with all its ups and downs, instead of resisting it. As you lie here and continue to relax, consider how you can begin to embrace your fate more fully. Are there challenges in your life that you can learn to love rather than fight against? As you breathe, let go of any frustration or resistance. Imagine yourself fully accepting your fate with open arms and feeling peace wash over you. This is where true freedom lies, not in controlling life, but in accepting it fully, with all its twists and turns. Now, as you drift further into a peaceful state, let's turn our attention to another powerful Stoic principle: virtue as the only good. The Stoics believed that the only true good in life is virtue, living with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Everything else in life, wealth, status, even pleasure, is secondary to virtue. Imagine that you could live your life with complete integrity, acting in accordance with your deepest values, no matter what happens around you. What if, instead of focusing on external success, you focused on cultivating virtue? The Stoics believed that virtue is the only thing that can bring true happiness and peace, because it is within your control. You can't always control the world around you, but you can control your actions and your character. Right now, as you lie here, think about what virtues you value most. Maybe it's wisdom, or kindness, or courage. Imagine that you could embody these virtues completely, living in harmony with them. Picture yourself responding to challenges with calmness and clarity, acting with integrity no matter what happens. In this moment, as you breathe, focus on embodying your virtues. Let them fill you up so that your actions tomorrow are guided by wisdom and peace, not by external desires or the need for approval. The Stoics taught that when we live according to virtue, we are living in alignment with our true nature. So, as you breathe, let this truth sink in. The only true good in life is virtue, and it is yours to cultivate, no matter what happens. The next Stoic practice we will reflect on is the nature of change. Change is inevitable. it's something the Stoics recognized and embraced. Life is always shifting, and nothing ever stays the same. One day you might feel on top of the world, and the next day you might face a setback. This is the nature of life, it's always in flux. The Stoics believed that instead of resisting change, we should accept it and even welcome it. They taught that peace comes not from trying to stop change, but from flowing with it. As you lie here, consider the changes happening in your life right now. Maybe there's a relationship that's shifting, a job situation that's uncertain, or a goal that seems farther away than it used to. The Stoics would remind you that change is a part of life, and rather than fighting against it, you can learn to flow with it. Just as a river flows around rocks, you too can navigate life's changes with ease. Right now, take a deep breath and imagine yourself surrendering to change. Let go of the need to control every aspect of your life, and instead, allow yourself to adapt to the changes around you. This doesn't mean that you stop taking action or stop striving for your goals. It simply means that you stop resisting the natural course of events. Imagine how much more peaceful your life could be if you embraced change instead of fearing it. In this moment, you can choose to flow with the current of life, letting go of the need to control every outcome. Now, let's reflect on the Stoic practice of negative visualization. This technique may seem odd at first, but it's one of the most effective tools for fostering gratitude and peace. Negative visualization involves imagining the worst-case scenario, what would happen if you lost everything you care about. The Stoics used this practice not to dwell on fear, but to appreciate the present moment more deeply. By imagining the worst, they became more aware of how fortunate they were in the present. Right now, as you relax and breathe deeply, take a moment to think about everything you're grateful for. Your loved ones, your health, your home, your sense of peace in this moment. Imagine, for a moment, losing those things. How would it feel? While this may be an uncomfortable exercise, it can deepen your gratitude for what you have now. The Stoics believed that by practicing negative visualization, we come to see how precious our lives are, and we learn to appreciate every moment. So, as you lie here, consider the beauty of the present moment. Every breath you take, every thought you have is a gift. You have everything you need to be at peace, right now, in this moment. As the darkness wraps around you, comforting and still, let's continue exploring the peaceful wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Now that you're deep in this state of relaxation, let's reflect on self-sufficiency and independence, two principles that are deeply rooted in Stoicism. The Stoics believed that to achieve true freedom, one must cultivate the ability to rely on oneself for contentment, rather than looking to external circumstances or other people for validation. Imagine, for a moment, being completely content with your own presence, not relying on any external source for your happiness. In a world that constantly tells us that happiness comes from what we have, our possessions, our relationships, our achievements, the Stoics teach us to find fulfillment within. Picture yourself as the calm center of your own existence, unaffected by the fluctuations of the outside world. Whether you are surrounded by chaos or peace, you remain grounded because your contentment comes from within, not from anything external. This kind of self-sufficiency doesn't mean that you become isolated or disconnected from others. It simply means that you don't depend on others or the world around you for your peace. As you breathe deeply, think about how often you tie your happiness to things outside yourself. Maybe you're waiting for a perfect relationship, a career milestone, or the approval of others. The Stoics would remind you that these things are external. fleeting and outside your control. But the one thing you can always rely on is yourself, your character, your values, your ability to remain calm and virtuous. In this peaceful moment, let this realization sink in. True peace comes from within. When you live according to your values, when you live in alignment with your true self, external circumstances no longer have the power to disturb your inner peace. Right now, as you relax deeper into the bed, allow the truth of this realization to fill you with a sense of calm and strength. You are self-sufficient, and your peace is unwavering, no matter what happens around you. This sense of self-sufficiency also ties into the Stoic concept of accepting life as it comes. The Stoics taught that we must accept all of life, the good and the bad, with equanimity. It's not that the Stoics believed we should passively accept injustice or mistreatment, but rather they encouraged us to accept life's circumstances as they are, without unnecessary resistance. We can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we react. In this moment, as you lie here, think about the areas of your life where you might be resisting change or where you're trying to force things to be a certain way. Imagine letting go of that resistance, releasing the need to control the outcome. Think about the relief that would come with simply accepting what is, knowing that it's the natural flow of life. The Stoics believed that true freedom comes not from manipulating the world around us, but from accepting it as it is. Right now, in this peaceful space, consider how you can begin to embrace life as it unfolds, without trying to control every detail. What would it feel like to fully let go, to accept everything that is happening around you without judgment or frustration? As you breathe deeply, let that acceptance wash over you, filling you with peace. You don't need to control the world, or the people in it too, just need to control how you respond. In this moment, you can choose to respond with calm acceptance, knowing that all of life's ups and downs are part of the greater journey. As you continue to relax into this calm space, let's reflect on one of the central teachings of Stoicism. Virtue is the only true good. The Stoics believed that nothing external wealth, fame, pleasure could bring true happiness. Instead, true happiness comes from living virtuously in accordance with the highest moral principles. Imagine, for a moment, that your only goal in life was to live with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These are the four cardinal virtues that the Stoics valued most. What would your life look like if you prioritized virtue above all else? The Stoics taught that, unlike wealth or status, virtue is not fleeting, is constant, and it is entirely within your control. Right now, as you lie here, think about what it would mean to embody these virtues in your daily life. What would it mean to act with wisdom in every situation? How would it feel to respond to challenges with courage, or to interact with others from a place of justice and fairness? The beauty of virtue is that it doesn't require anything external. You don't need anyone else to behave a certain way or for your life to unfold in a specific way for you to live virtuously. Right now, you can choose to act with virtue, and by doing so, you bring peace to your life. As you breathe deeply, imagine yourself living in perfect alignment with these virtues. Picture yourself responding to every situation with wisdom and calm, letting your actions be guided by your highest values. This is the true path to inner peace, the understanding that your happiness and fulfillment come not from what happens to you, but from how you choose to respond and the virtues you choose to live by in the next part of our journey. Let's explore the idea of the unity of all things, which is central to Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that everything in the universe is interconnected, that you are not separate from the world around you, but rather an integral part of the larger whole. Imagine for a moment that you are part of an immense, interconnected, webbed web of life. Just as the branches of a tree are connected to its roots, you too are part of a greater whole. This realization can bring a profound sense of peace, because it reminds you that you are never truly alone. You are part of something much larger than yourself. The Stoics believed that by understanding this interconnectedness, we could let go of the need to control everything and find peace in simply being part of the whole. As you lie here, think about your place in the world. You are part of an endless cycle where everything is connected. There is comfort in knowing that everything, even your challenges, is part of a larger purpose. As you breathe deeply, let that sense of connection fill you up. Feel yourself as part of this vast, interconnected web of life, and know that your existence, no matter how small it may seem, is important. You are not alone. You are part of everything, and everything is part of you now. Let's reflect on the Stoic idea of the illusion of control. So much of our stress comes from the desire to control life, to manipulate circumstances, and to force things to happen the way we want them to. But the Stoics taught that true peace comes not from control, but from acceptance. Right now, as you relax, consider the things in your life that you are trying to control. Maybe it's a relationship, a job situation, or even how others perceive you. The Stoics would encourage you to let go of that need for control. What if instead of trying to control everything, you simply focused on what you can control, your reactions, your thoughts, and your actions? The Stoics believed that by letting go of the illusion of control, we could free ourselves from unnecessary stress and find peace in acceptance. As you breathe deeply, imagine yourself releasing the need to control anything. Just let go and feel the peace that comes with surrendering to the natural flow of life. There is freedom in accepting that you cannot control everything, but you can control how you respond. As you settle deeper into your body, continuing to feel the soft pull of relaxation, let's shift our focus to an essential Stoic concept: living according to nature. To live according to nature, in Stoic philosophy, doesn't simply mean walking through forests or looking at the stars. It means aligning your actions with the natural order of the universe, the underlying principles that govern life itself. Everything in the world is part of a greater whole, from the smallest blade of grass to the stars above. The Stoics believed that by accepting this interconnectedness, you can find peace, because you understand that everything has its place in the grand scheme of things. The world is not random or chaotic. It follows a pattern. And when you live in alignment with this pattern, accepting life's events as they come, you bring yourself into harmony with nature. Right now, as you relax in your bed, consider how often you try to force life to follow your plans, how often you try to control the world around you. What if, instead of pushing against life, you embraced its natural flow? Imagine that you could relax into life's unfolding, trusting that everything is happening as it should. The Stoics often spoke about nature as an intelligent, guiding force. Imagine being in tune with this intelligence, being part of the flow of life, rather than trying to swim against it. In this moment, feel how peaceful it is to surrender to this natural rhythm, to trust that life will unfold in its own time, and all you need to do is stay present and accept what is. You are a part of the greater whole, and everything that happens in your life is a part of this greater design. So, as you breathe deeply, imagine yourself aligning with the natural world. letting go of the need to force anything, and simply allowing life to unfold naturally. This acceptance of life as it is leads us into another powerful Stoic idea: the freedom of acceptance. This doesn't mean simply tolerating everything that happens to you, but rather truly accepting what is, without resistance. Often in life, we become upset when things don't go the way we expect them to, or when we can't control the outcome of situations. But the Stoics believed that the true path to peace is not in trying to control everything, but in accepting things as they are. The freedom that comes with this acceptance is liberating. When you accept the reality of your situation, you stop wasting energy resisting it, and instead, you channel that energy into living with wisdom and virtue. Right now, as you lie here, take a moment to think about something in your life that you've been resisting. Maybe it's a challenging situation, or a difficult emotion, or even an external factor that's out of your control. The Stoics would invite you to accept this moment as it is, without resistance. Take a deep breath and imagine releasing all of your resistance, letting go of the need to change what is. With each breath, feel yourself sinking into acceptance, trusting that this moment is exactly as it needs to be. This doesn't mean that you have to like everything that happens, but you can choose to accept it, knowing that your peace comes from your response, not the situation itself. By accepting things as they are, you free yourself from the weight of trying to control or change them. And in this acceptance, you find the freedom to live fully in the present, without fear of what might happen next. As you continue to breathe deeply, think about another essential Stoic practice: negative visualization. It might sound unsettling, but the Stoics used this technique to foster gratitude and resilience. Negative visualization involves imagining the worst-case scenario in a situation. What if you lost your job, your health, or a loved one? The idea isn't to dwell in fear, but to appreciate what you have right now. By contemplating the possibility of loss, you realize how precious the present moment is. Right now, as you lie here, imagine for a moment losing something important. To you, what would it feel like? While this may be uncomfortable to think about, it can also deepen your appreciation for what you have. It can remind you of how lucky you are to have the people, the opportunities, and the circumstances in your life as they are. The Stoics believed that by practicing negative visualization, we can prepare ourselves for the inevitable changes that life brings, and we can learn to let go of our attachment to the things we cannot control. Instead of fearing loss, we can embrace gratitude for everything we have right now. As you breathe, feel the gratitude fill you up. You don't need to wait for something to be taken away to appreciate it. Right now, in this moment, everything you have is a gift, and you can be at peace knowing that you've made the most of it. This practice of gratitude ties closely to the Stoic idea of virtue as the only good. In the Stoic worldview, nothing outside of virtue can bring true happiness. Wealth, status, and pleasure are fleeting. They come and go. But virtue, living with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance is the only thing that remains constant. Imagine for a moment that your only goal in life was to embody these virtues in every situation. It doesn't matter what happens around you, whether you succeed or fail, whether life is easy or hard, your happiness comes from your commitment to living virtuously. Right now, as you lie here, think about what virtue means to you. What does it mean to live wisely, to act with justice, to embody courage in the face of fear, or to practice temperance when faced with temptation? The Stoics believed that by living virtuously, we cultivate peace within ourselves because we stop relying on external circumstances to dictate our happiness. Imagine yourself living in alignment with these virtues, no matter what the world throws at you. With every breath, remind yourself that your true value is not determined by what you have or don't have, but by the integrity with which you live. You are not defined by external circumstances, but by the virtues you embody. And as you breathe, let this truth sink in, knowing that true happiness comes from living with wisdom, courage, and integrity. Now, let's reflect on the Stoic practice of self-mastery. The Stoics believe that the key to peace is not in controlling the world, but in controlling ourselves. Imagine that you have complete mastery over your thoughts, emotions, and actions. You are not controlled by fear, anger, or desire, but instead, you act with clarity and wisdom, no matter what happens around you. Right now, as you lie here, think about the times when you've let your emotions dictate your actions. Maybe you've reacted with anger or fear, or you've let anxiety take over. The Stoics would remind you that while you can't control the world or other people, you can control how you respond. Take a deep breath and imagine yourself in complete control of your thoughts and actions. Picture yourself responding to challenges with calmness, making decisions from a place of wisdom and clarity. This is self-mastery, the ability to remain at peace, no matter what life throws your way. As you breathe, feel yourself becoming more centered, more grounded, and more in control. You are the master of your own mind, and with that mastery comes true freedom. Finally, let's consider the unity of all things. The Stoics believe that everything in the universe is interconnected. Imagine that you are a part of an immense, interconnected web, the web of life. Right now, as you breathe deeply, think about how everything in your life, every experience, every person, every challenge, is connected to this larger web. You are not separate from the world, but an integral part of it. This realization can bring a deep sense of peace, knowing that you are part of something much larger than yourself. You are connected to everyone and everything. And just as the branches of a tree are connected to its roots, you are part of this great living organism that is life itself. In this moment, allow yourself to feel that connection. You are never truly alone. You are part of the flow of life, and life is flowing through you. As you continue to sink deeper into relaxation, feeling the weight of your body supported by the bed beneath you, let's turn our attention to an essential concept in Stoic philosophy: the illusion of control. The Stoics often spoke about how our attempts to control the uncontrollable lead to frustration, stress, and a loss of peace. Imagine for a moment how much energy you spend on trying to control the world around you, hoping for things to go your way, trying to manage outcomes, or even manipulating situations to fit your desires. While it's natural to want to influence the course of our lives, the Stoics believed that peace comes not from control, but from acceptance. You cannot control everything that happens to you, no matter how hard you try. People will act as they do, circumstances will unfold as they will, and life will follow its own course. The only thing you can truly control is your response to those events. Take a deep breath and consider the areas in your life where you may be struggling for control. It's a situation at work, a relationship, or even your own expectations of yourself. Right now, as you lie here in this moment of stillness, let go of the need to control. Release the tension that comes from trying to manage everything around you. Imagine that you are like a leaf floating on a stream, letting the current carry you where it will, without resistance, without fear. This is the Stoic lesson. You don't need to control everything. What you need to control is how you respond. And right now, you are choosing to respond with acceptance, letting go of the need to control what cannot be controlled. In this peaceful space, imagine that you are free from the burden of control, and feel how light you become as you embrace the natural flow of life. In a world filled with distractions, expectations, and endless demands, the Stoic practice of living according to nature offers a powerful remedy for inner peace. To live in harmony with nature means to accept the natural order of things, both within ourselves and in the world around us. The Stoics believe that everything in life, from the rising of the sun to the passing of time, follows a certain rhythm that we can either resist or embrace. Imagine, for a moment, that your life, just like the seasons, has its own natural cycle. Some parts of life may feel like winter cold, dark, and challenging, while others may feel like spring full of new beginnings, growth, and possibilities. Instead of resisting the season you're in, the Stoics taught that it's important to accept it. Just as a tree doesn't resist the changing of the seasons, neither should you resist life's natural cycles. Right now, as you breathe deeply, reflect on the season of life you're in. Maybe you're going through a challenging period, or perhaps you're in a time of growth and change. Whatever it is, accept it as part of your natural journey. Life is full of ups and downs, but each season brings its own lessons. By accepting the ebb and flow of life, you open yourself up to peace, because you no longer fight against what is. You simply live, trusting that each season, however difficult, will eventually pass, and the next one will bring its own beauty. This acceptance also ties into the Stoic practice of self-sufficiency. To the Stoics, self-sufficiency wasn't about isolation, but about inner strength and resilience. It's the ability to find peace and contentment within yourself, without needing external circumstances to validate your worth or happiness. Think about how often you look outside of yourself for fulfillment, whether it's in relationships, achievements, possessions, or social approval. While these things can certainly bring joy, the Stoics believed that true peace comes when we no longer rely on external sources for our happiness. Imagine, for a moment, being completely content with who you are, without needing anything outside of yourself to complete you. Right now, as you lie here, allow yourself to feel that contentment. You are enough, just as you are. The Stoics believed that this self-sufficiency doesn't mean rejecting the world or isolating yourself from others. It simply means that you find your source of peace within. As you breathe deeply, feel your inner strength growing, knowing that you can weather any storm because your peace doesn't come from what you have, but from who you are. By cultivating self-sufficiency, you stop depending on things outside of you to make you happy. You find a deep, unshakable peace that remains, regardless of what happens around you. This self-sufficiency also ties into the idea of inner peace, which is a core principle of Stoic thought. The Stoics taught that external events, whether good or bad, cannot disturb your peace unless you allow them to. It's not the events themselves that cause distress, but how you perceive and respond to them. Think about the times in your life when you felt stress or frustration. In those moments, what were you reacting to? Was it the event itself, or was it your interpretation of the event? Right now, as you lie here, consider how much of your stress comes from your own judgments, your own expectations. Imagine that you could see the world with fresh eyes, without judgment or attachment. In this moment, you have the power to do just that. You can choose to let go of all the judgments, expectations, and fears that weigh you down. Instead, you can embrace this moment exactly as it is, with complete acceptance and peace. The Stoics believed that true peace comes from within, from our ability to control our perceptions and our responses, not from the outside world. As you breathe deeply, feel the calm of knowing that nothing outside of you can take away your peace. It is yours, always, no matter what happens, as we move forward in our journey tonight. Let's reflect on the Stoic practice of Amor Fati, the love of fate. The Stoics believed that everything that happens to us, both good and bad, is part of a larger plan, and rather than resisting it, we should learn to embrace it. Imagine that everything in your life, including the difficult moments, is exactly as it's supposed to be. Instead of wishing things were different, the Stoics taught us to love our fate, whatever it may be. Right now, as you lie here, think about the challenges in your life. Maybe there are things you wish were different, things you've been struggling with. What if you could embrace those struggles, not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow? By practicing Amor Fati, you learn to see everything that happens in your life as an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. In this moment, imagine yourself fully embracing your fate, loving every part of it, knowing that every experience, both the joyful and the painful, is shaping you into the person you are meant to be. As you breathe, feel yourself releasing any resistance and opening yourself to the beauty of life as it is. You are here, exactly as you are meant to be, and everything that happens is part of your journey. As you continue to relax, with each breath becoming slower and deeper, let's reflect on the Stoic idea of negative visualization, a practice that, while it might seem unsettling at first, has been used by Stoic philosophers to cultivate peace, gratitude, and resilience. The Stoics taught that in order to live peacefully, we must recognize the fleeting nature of everything around us. By contemplating the worst-case scenarios, not to dwell in fear, but to foster an appreciation for what we currently have, we gain a deeper sense of gratitude. Imagine for a moment that you were to lose something dear to you: a job, a loved one, your health, or perhaps the freedom to move about as you do now. The Stoic philosophers used negative visualization as a way of appreciating what we often take for granted. By vividly imagining the loss, we can deepen our gratitude for what we still have, right here in this moment. Right now, take a deep breath and think of everything you cherish. Notice how much peace is felt when you realize that you possess these things right now. The Stoics encouraged us to imagine these losses, not to dwell in sorrow or regret, but to appreciate the present moment. What if you could feel thankful for everything you have right now, knowing that it might not always be this way? The beauty of life comes in its impermanence. The Stoic practice of negative visualization teaches us that by accepting the possibility of loss, we come to cherish our blessings even more. So, as you lie here, feel a deep sense of gratitude welling up in you, knowing that you are living in the present, surrounded by things that bring you comfort, love, and peace. By contemplating what you might lose, the Stoics helped us understand that loss itself is an integral part of life. It's not something to fear, but rather something to prepare for. While negative visualization is a practice of imagining the worst, it's also about releasing our attachment to the things we hold most dear. This attachment can create suffering when we cling to things that are fleeting and changeable. When we practice accepting the impermanence of life, we free ourselves from the anxiety that comes with trying to hold on too tightly to anything. In this moment, as you lie here, think about how much anxiety you may carry in your life by holding onto the belief that you must protect and preserve everything you have. The Stoics would remind you that this desire to hold on to things is what creates suffering, not the things themselves. In letting go of attachment, you find peace. Imagine, right now, releasing the grip you have on your possessions, your relationships, your achievements. Just for a moment, let them go, knowing that they are part of the flow of life and that true peace comes from within, not from anything outside of you. Breathe in this release, and with each exhale, feel yourself becoming lighter. You don't need to hold on to anything in order to be at peace. You are enough as you are in this moment, and everything else is just part of the ever-changing landscape of life. As you reflect on the Stoic principle of impermanence, consider how it ties into the nature of change. One of the core beliefs of Stoicism is that change is inevitable. Everything in life is in a constant state of flux. The Stoics understood that we cannot resist change, and when we try to fight against it, we only create suffering for ourselves. Imagine, for a moment, a river rushing past you. The water is constantly flowing, changing direction, moving in and out of sight. Just as the river moves, so too does life. You cannot step into the same river twice, because it's always changing. Life is much the same. The Stoics taught that the more we resist the natural flow of life, the more we struggle. But when we embrace the changes that come our way, we find peace. Take a deep breath and imagine yourself like the river, flowing with life's changes. Think about the areas of your life where change is happening or where it's needed. Instead of resisting, what if you allowed change to come naturally? The Stoics would say that peace comes when we stop fighting against what is inevitable. So, as you breathe, imagine yourself flowing with change, allowing the natural rhythm of life to guide you. You are part of this greater flow, and you don't need to control it. You just need to go with it, trusting that every twist and turn is part of your journey. This acceptance of change leads us directly to the Stoic practice of Amor, Fati, the love of fate. Imagine, for a moment, embracing everything in your life with love, even the difficult parts, the challenges, and the struggles. Instead of wishing that life were different, or trying to control the events around you, the Stoics taught us to love our fate exactly as it is. By loving our fate, we free ourselves from the grip of frustration and regret. Every experience, every hardship, is an opportunity for growth. The Stoics saw this as a powerful way of accepting life's challenges, not as obstacles, but as parts of a much larger, meaningful journey. As you lie here, consider how you can love your fate, no matter how difficult it may seem. Instead of fighting against life's difficulties, imagine embracing them with open arms, knowing that they are teaching you something valuable. The beauty of life lies not in its perfection, but in how we embrace it, imperfections and all. So, as you breathe deeply, think about the areas of your life where you might need to let go of resistance and learn to love your fate. By doing so, you open yourself to a deeper peace, knowing that every moment, every challenge, is exactly what you need in this peaceful space. Reflect on the unity of all things. Stoicism teaches that everything in the universe is interconnected. You are not separate from the world around you, but an integral part of it. Just as every cell in your body works together to keep you alive, every person and every event in the world is part of a greater, interconnected whole. The Stoics believed that understanding this unity brings peace, because it allows us to let go of the illusion of separation. Right now, as you breathe, consider how connected you are to everything in your life, the people you love, the places you visit, and even the challenges you face. Everything is connected, and you are part of this beautiful web of life. The Stoics taught that when we understand this interconnectedness, we can release the need to control, because we recognize that we are all part of the same process. Imagine, for a moment, that you are not an isolated being, but a part of something much larger. This realization can bring a profound sense of peace, knowing that you are not alone, and that everything you experience is part of the greater journey of the universe. Let this sense of unity fill you up as you continue to relax and breathe, feeling the connection to everything around you. As you continue to relax and deepen into the stillness of the night, let's delve into one of the most profound aspects of Stoic thought, the importance of inner peace. This principle underpins all Stoic practices, and it's something that, when fully understood, can change the way you approach every moment of your life. The Stoics believed that true peace cannot be found in external circumstances, no matter how favorable they may seem. Peace comes from within, from your ability to manage your thoughts, reactions, and perceptions. Right now, as you lie here, take a moment to acknowledge the peace you are creating in this very moment. You've chosen to leave the stresses of the day behind. You've chosen to be present, to breathe deeply, to let go of everything that does not serve you. This is the essence of Stoic inner peace, recognizing that you control your response to life, and that your peace is not dependent on the world around you. As you breathe, feel the peace spreading throughout your body, from your head down to your toes. Let each breath carry you further into this peace, knowing that it is yours to cultivate at any moment, regardless of what happens externally. The Stoics would remind you that no matter the chaos or challenges you face, your peace is a choice. You can always choose to return to it. In this moment, you have made that choice, and that decision allows you to sink even deeper into rest. Inner peace is a direct result of living according to nature. The Stoics believed that by aligning our lives with the natural order, we create harmony between our desires and the flow of the universe. Imagine for a moment that you are in perfect alignment with the natural world. You no longer fight against the ebb and flow of life, but instead you embrace it with open arms. Like the ocean that rises and falls in its own time, so too does life unfold. Right now, as you relax, consider how often you try to resist the natural course of events. Maybe you've tried to control outcomes, force relationships to fit your desires, or make life bend to your will. What if you let go of that resistance? What if you accepted the natural rhythm of life, knowing that it is always unfolding as it should? The Stoics taught that true freedom comes when we accept life as it is, rather than trying to mold it to our expectations. As you lie here, imagine that you are one with the natural order. You don't need to struggle, because everything is unfolding as it should. You are exactly where you need to be. With each breath, release the need to control the course of your life, and allow yourself to simply flow with it, trusting that the universe is guiding you step by step. Let this understanding bring you peace as you sink deeper into relaxation. This acceptance of life as it is connects directly to the Stoic practice of self-sufficiency. The Stoics believed that true freedom and peace come when we stop relying on external circumstances or others for our happiness, and instead turn inward for our source of contentment. Imagine, for a moment, that you don't need anything from the outside world to feel complete. You are enough, just as you are. Whether you have wealth, success, or approval from others doesn't change your intrinsic worth. Your peace, your happiness, your fulfillment come from within. Right now, as you breathe deeply, reflect on how often you look to external sources to feel validated or secure. How often do you tie your peace to things that are outside of your control, your job, your relationships, or the opinions of others? The Stoics would remind you that true self-sufficiency comes when you stop relying on those external sources and begin to find contentment within yourself. In this moment, allow yourself to feel that contentment. You are complete as you are, and everything you need to find peace is already within you. Let go of any need for external validation. You don't need anything else to feel fulfilled. Your peace is in your own hands. As you continue to breathe deeply, feel this sense of self-sufficiency fill you up, knowing that you are the source of your own happiness and contentment. This is the freedom the Stoics spoke of, the freedom to be at peace, regardless of what is happening around you. This freedom also connects to the Stoic practice of Amor Fati, the love of fate. The Stoics taught us to not only accept life as it is, but to embrace it fully, even the difficult parts. This can be one of the hardest lessons in Stoic philosophy, but it's also one of the most powerful. Instead of wishing for life to be different or trying to avoid hardship, Amor Fati invites us to love everything that happens to us, knowing that every experience, good or bad, is an opportunity for growth. Imagine, for a moment, that you could look at all the challenges in your life, not with frustration or resistance, but with love. What if you could embrace every moment, even the ones that are difficult, knowing that they are shaping you into the person you are meant to be? The Stoics believed that by accepting and even loving our fate, we free ourselves from the grip of resentment and frustration. We stop wishing things were different, and instead, we trust that everything we experience is part of a larger plan. Right now, as you lie here, consider the challenges in your life. Can you love them? Can you embrace them, knowing that they are teaching you something valuable? Breathe deeply and imagine yourself fully accepting your fate, embracing the lessons that come with it. This is true freedom, the freedom to love life as it is, without wishing it were different. The practice of negative visualization, which we explored earlier, ties directly into this acceptance. By imagining the worst-case scenarios, the Stoics taught us to appreciate what we have now and to detach from our attachments to external things. The more we recognize that everything is temporary and impermanent, the more we can let go of our attachments and find peace in the present moment. The Stoics believed that the fear of losing things, whether it's people, possessions, or situations, often causes more suffering than the actual loss itself. By practicing negative visualization, we prepare ourselves mentally for the inevitable changes that life brings, and in doing so, we can approach life with more gratitude and acceptance. As you lie here, consider the things you cherish most in your life. What if, instead of fearing their loss, you embraced the reality that they are temporary? The Stoics would remind you that nothing is permanent, and that's what makes everything so precious. Breathe deeply and let that understanding bring you peace. Everything in your life is a gift, and that gift is fleeting. Instead of worrying about losing it, appreciate it fully, right here and now. The Stoics also believed that by embracing the unity of all things, we can find peace. Everything in the universe is interconnected, just as every part of your body works together to keep you alive, so too does the universe work in harmony. You are not separate from the world around you, but an integral part of it. The Stoics believed that when we understand this interconnectedness, we can release our need to control and find peace in simply being part of something much larger than ourselves. Right now, as you relax, think about how connected you are to everything around you. Your life, your experiences, and your actions are all part of a greater whole. When you realize that you are part of this grand tapestry, you can let go of the need to control everything and simply live with peace and acceptance. You are one with everything. As you breathe, feel the connection to all things, knowing that you are an essential part of this infinite web of life. As you continue to relax deeper into the bed, with each breath growing slower and more rhythmic, let's turn our attention to one of the most liberating aspects of Stoic philosophy, the illusion of control. In today's world, we often find ourselves grasping for control, whether it's trying to dictate outcomes in our relationships, our careers, or even our own emotional responses. The Stoics, however, understood something essential. We can't control everything around us. In fact, there's very little in life that we can truly control. What we can control, though, is how we respond. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." Right now, as you lie here, reflect on the areas of your life where you've been trying to control things outside of yourself. Maybe you've been stressing over outcomes or seeking approval from others. The Stoics would remind you that peace comes when we accept the reality that much of life is beyond our grasp. Imagine for a moment that, instead of trying to control the uncontrollable, you simply allowed yourself to let go. Imagine no longer fighting against the natural flow of life. Let it go, breathe in, and as you exhale, release the tension that comes with trying to control everything. The beautiful thing about this realization is that it brings immense freedom from the anxiety of trying to manage everything. As you breathe deeply, feel the freedom that comes from simply accepting what is, knowing that your peace is not dependent on the world around you, but on how you respond to it. This brings us naturally to the practice of acceptance, which is central to Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that we cannot avoid suffering, but we can choose how to respond to it. Life will inevitably bring challenges, obstacles, and hardships. But in every situation, we have a choice. We can choose to resist what is happening, which creates more tension and frustration, or we can choose to accept what is and respond with equanimity. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means acknowledging the reality of a situation without judgment, without emotional turbulence, and without the need for things to be different. Right now, as you lie here, think about something in your life that you've been resisting. Maybe there's a difficult person, a situation at work, or an internal struggle you've been trying to push away. The Stoics would invite you to practice acceptance. Can you accept this moment exactly as it is, without wishing for it to be different? The peace that comes with acceptance is profound. It's the peace that arises when we let go of resistance and surrender to what is. Imagine accepting everything in your life as it is, without judgment or frustration. Feel the deep sense of calm that accompanies this acceptance. The Stoics believed that by accepting life's challenges, we are freeing ourselves from unnecessary suffering. As you continue to breathe, allow that sense of acceptance to wash over you, filling you with peace. You are no longer fighting against life, you are embracing it as it is, knowing that this moment, however it unfolds, is exactly what you need. This sense of acceptance and peace leads us directly into the Stoic practice of self-sufficiency. The Stoics understood that true freedom comes from within. We often look to external sources, whether it's relationships, success, or approval from others for our happiness. But the Stoics argued that this dependence on external factors is the source of much of our suffering. Instead, they taught that true peace comes when we realize that our happiness doesn't depend on anything outside of ourselves. Right now, as you lie here, consider how much of your peace is tied to external sources. Are you waiting for something to happen or someone to behave a certain way in order for you to feel at peace? The Stoics would remind you that, while relationships and external circumstances can bring joy, they are not the source of true happiness. True happiness comes from within. Imagine that you could find peace regardless of what happens outside of you. What would it feel like to no longer depend on anyone or anything to feel content? Take a deep breath and let that realization sink in. You are complete, just as you are. You don't need anything external to feel at peace. The Stoics taught that when we rely on ourselves for our peace and happiness, we free ourselves from the fluctuations of life. You are already whole. Right now, in this moment, you have everything you need to be at peace. Allow that understanding to fill you with calm and contentment as you breathe deeply now. As we continue this journey of Stoic exploration, let's reflect on the Stoic practice of virtue as the only good. For the Stoics, virtue was the highest good, the only thing that truly mattered. All external circumstances, wealth, fame, pleasure, are fleeting and outside of our control. But virtual living with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance is something we can cultivate and rely on. Imagine, for a moment, that your only goal in life was to live virtuously. No matter what happened around you, your peace would come from living in alignment with these 4 cardinal virtues. What would it look like to embody wisdom in every decision you make, to act with courage in the face of fear, to live justly with others, and to practice temperance when faced with temptation? Right now, as you lie here, think about the virtues that resonate with you. How can you apply them to your life tomorrow? The Stoics believed that true happiness comes from living according to virtue, not from external achievements or material success. The peace that comes from living virtuously is unshakable because it is based on something you can control: your actions, your decisions, and your integrity. Take a deep breath and imagine yourself living in complete alignment with these virtues. Feel the peace that comes from knowing that your true value lies not in what you have, but in how you live. In this moment, you can choose to embody wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, and in doing so, you create lasting peace within yourself. This peace comes naturally from the nature of change. The Stoics taught that change is inevitable, part of life's natural flow. Just as the seasons change, so do our circumstances. Instead of resisting change, the Stoics believed we should accept it and even welcome it. Change is an essential part of life, and by embracing it, we find peace. Right now, as you breathe, think about the changes in your life. Are there any that you've been resisting? What if, instead of fighting against them, you embraced them with openness and trust? The Stoics believed that peace comes from adapting to change, not from trying to control it. As you lie here, imagine yourself letting go of the need for everything to stay the same. Embrace the changes that come your way, knowing that each one is an opportunity for growth. You can be at peace with the flow of life, knowing that everything is temporary and that each change has its own purpose. Finally, let's consider the Stoic practice of Amor Fati, the love of fate. The Stoics taught us to not just accept life's challenges, but to love them. Imagine, for a moment, that you could embrace every part of your life, even the difficult parts, with love and acceptance. Instead of wishing things were different, you could embrace them as they are, knowing that everything has a purpose in your journey. As you breathe deeply, imagine yourself loving your fate, whatever it may be. The Stoics believed that by loving your fate, you free yourself from the need to change things, and in doing so, you find peace. You are exactly where you need to be, and everything that happens is part of the greater plan. Let this realization bring you peace as you sink deeper into relaxation, knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. As you continue to breathe slowly and deeply, feeling the weight of your body fully supported by the bed beneath you, let's turn our attention to the Stoic practice of living in harmony with nature. This is one of the cornerstones of Stoic philosophy, and it encourages us to align our thoughts, actions, and beliefs with the natural order of the universe. Everything in life flows according to a pattern that we can either resist or accept. The Stoics believed that when we live in alignment with nature, we are able to find peace because we are not fighting against the natural course of life. Imagine for a moment that you are perfectly in tune with the world around you. Just as the trees sway with the wind and the river flows downstream, you too can flow with the rhythm of life. Instead of resisting change, chaos, or difficulties, you learn to move with them, understanding that each experience is part of the greater cycle of existence. Take a deep breath now, and imagine yourself as part of this natural rhythm. You don't need to control life, you simply need to move with it. There's a deep sense of calm that comes when you accept that you don't have to force anything, that life will unfold as it is meant to. The Stoics reminded us that peace comes from letting go of the need to control everything, and instead trusting the process. Right now, as you relax, reflect on the times in your life when you tried to force things or resist the natural flow. What if, instead of struggling, you simply allowed yourself to flow with life? Let that idea bring you peace as you sink deeper into this moment, feeling more and more at ease, knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. This practice of living according to nature naturally leads us to the idea of self-sufficiency. The Stoics believed that in order to find true freedom and peace, we must become self-sufficient. This doesn't mean that we cut ourselves off from others or stop seeking companionship or support. It means that we rely on our own inner strength and wisdom to find peace, rather than depending on external circumstances. Right now, as you lie here, consider how often your sense of happiness or fulfillment depends on something outside yourself. Maybe it's your job, your relationships, or even your environment. The Stoics would remind you that true peace comes from within. Imagine, for a moment, that you are completely self-sufficient. You don't need anything external to feel whole. Your peace, your happiness, your contentment all come from your own thoughts, choices, and actions. This idea of self-sufficiency is liberating because it removes the need to rely on things that are outside your control. The Stoics would remind you that you can find peace regardless of what is happening around you. You are the master of your own inner world. As you breathe deeply, reflect on how much of your life you give away to external circumstances. What if you could find peace without relying on anything outside yourself? The beauty of this realization is that you have the power to find peace right now within yourself, just as you are. There's nothing you need to change or fix, because you are enough. Let this sense of self-sufficiency fill you with calm as you continue to breathe deeply, knowing that you are whole and complete just as you are. The Stoics also emphasized the illusion of control, the idea that we often spend much of our energy trying to control things that are outside our reach. This desire for control can cause stress, frustration, and anxiety. When we try to control the uncontrollable, we only create inner turmoil. Instead, The Stoics taught that true peace comes from accepting what we cannot change and focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and reactions. Imagine for a moment how much peace you could find if you let go of the need to control everything in your life. What if, instead of fighting against things you cannot change, you accepted them for what they are? The Stoics believed that by accepting what is beyond our control, we free ourselves from the anxiety and frustration that comes from trying to force life to meet our expectations. As you lie here, think about the things in your life that you've been trying to control: relationships, outcomes, situations. What if you could release the need to control them? Imagine feeling lighter, more at ease, knowing that you don't need to fix everything. Right now, as you breathe, allow yourself to let go of that need for control. Feel the tension lift from your body as you release the desire to change what is. The peace that follows this release is profound. You are free, because you no longer feel the need to control everything. You are at peace because you have accepted that some things are simply beyond your reach. This freedom that comes from releasing control leads us directly into the practice of acceptance. Acceptance is not passive resignation, it's an active choice to embrace life as it is, without resistance. The Stoics believed that by accepting life's challenges, we open ourselves to peace because we stop fighting against what is. Right now, as you relax, think about an area of your life where you've been struggling with resistance. Maybe it's a situation that's out of your control, or maybe it's an internal struggle that you've been holding on to. The Stoics would invite you to accept it, not as something to change, but as something to embrace. Acceptance doesn't mean you stop taking action or that you don't work towards your goals. It simply means that you stop resisting the present moment. You stop fighting against what is. Take a deep breath and imagine releasing all your resistance. Feel the peace that comes when you accept life as it is. This doesn't mean that you have to like everything that's happening, but it does mean that you stop fighting it. As you breathe, feel yourself sinking into this acceptance, knowing that by embracing the present, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. Acceptance is not giving up. It is embracing what is, fully and completely. This is the path to peace. Now, let's consider the concept of self-mastery, which is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. Self-mastery is the ability to govern our thoughts, emotions, and actions, regardless of the external circumstances. The Stoics believed that true freedom comes from within, from our ability to choose how we respond to the world around us. Imagine, for a moment, that you are fully in control of your reactions, your thoughts, and your emotions. You don't allow external events to dictate how you feel. Instead, you respond with calm, wisdom, and virtue, no matter what happens. This self-mastery doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or ignoring your feelings. It means recognizing them, accepting them, and choosing how to act in response. Right now, as you lie here, consider how much power you have over your own thoughts and emotions. Imagine yourself responding to life's challenges with calmness and clarity, not being swept away by fear, anger, or frustration. The Stoics believed that this ability to control ourselves is the key to true freedom and inner peace. As you continue to breathe, feel yourself becoming more centered and more in control of your thoughts and emotions. You have the power to respond with calmness, and in doing so, you create lasting peace within yourself. The Stoic concept of virtue as the only good is one of the most profound aspects of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that nothing outside of virtue can bring true happiness or peace. Wealth, status, pleasure, These are fleeting and out of our control. But virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance is within our control, and it is the only thing that truly matters. Right now, as you lie here, reflect on the virtues you value most. Imagine yourself living in complete alignment with these virtues, responding to every situation with wisdom, courage, and justice. Picture yourself acting with integrity, no matter what happens around you. The Stoics believed that when we live virtuously, we find peace because we stop relying on external circumstances for our happiness. Instead, our happiness comes from living according to our highest values. As you breathe deeply, feel yourself living in alignment with these virtues. Let them guide you, knowing that your true value is not determined by what you have, but by how you live. As you continue to relax, sinking deeper into the calmness of the night, let's shift our focus to one of the most powerful Stoic practices, embracing the impermanence of life. The Stoics believed that nothing in life is permanent, everything changes, and nothing lasts forever. This understanding of impermanence was not something to fear, but something to embrace. The Stoics saw the fleeting nature of life as an invitation to live fully in the present, to appreciate each moment, and to let go of our attachment to things that are temporary. Imagine, for a moment, that you could live your life with the knowledge that everything is temporary. The relationships you cherish, the possessions you've accumulated, and even your own experiences are all impermanent. This isn't a reason to despair, it's a reason to live more intentionally, to appreciate what you have right now, knowing that it won't always be this way. The Stoics believed that by accepting impermanence, we can find peace, because we stop clinging to things that are beyond our control. As you breathe deeply, reflect on the things you cherish most in your life. What if you could appreciate them fully, knowing that they won't last forever? This acceptance of impermanence frees you from the fear of loss, because you understand that everything has its time, and that time is precious. In this moment, as you lie here, allow yourself to fully embrace the fleeting nature of life. Let go of the need to hold on tightly to anything, and instead appreciate it for what it is, right now, in this moment. The more you embrace impermanence, the more deeply you can live in the present, knowing that each moment is unique and invaluable. This acceptance of impermanence ties directly into the Stoic concept of Amor, Fati, the love of fate. The Stoics taught that instead of resisting the challenges and hardships that life presents, we should embrace them with love and gratitude. Life's challenges are not obstacles, they are opportunities for growth. Imagine, for a moment, embracing every moment of your life, the good, the bad, the easy, and the difficult with love. Instead of wishing that things were different, you learn to accept everything as it is, knowing that every experience is a part of your journey. Right now, as you breathe, reflect on the challenges in your life. Can you find a way to love them, to see them as opportunities to grow? The Stoics believed that by embracing our fate, we free ourselves from the desire for things to be different, and in doing so, we find peace. You can choose to love your fate no matter what it brings, knowing that it is shaping you into the person you were meant to become. Take a deep breath and imagine embracing everything in your life, your challenges, your successes, your losses, with love. The more you practice Amor Fati, the more you'll realize that you are not at the mercy of life's circumstances. You are the one who decides how to respond, and by choosing to love what comes your way, you empower yourself to live with peace and clarity. As you lie here, Think about what it would mean to live fully aligned with the Stoic idea of virtue as the only good. The Stoics believed that virtue, living with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, is the only thing that truly matters. Everything else, wealth, status, pleasure, is secondary. Imagine, for a moment, that you lived each day with the intention to embody these virtues in every action. What would your life look like if you prioritized wisdom over success, courage over comfort, justice over convenience, and temperance over indulgence? The Stoics believed that the only thing truly within our control is our own character and actions. You can't control the world around you, but you can control how you choose to act. Right now, as you lie here, reflect on how you can embody these virtues in your life. How can you respond to life's challenges with wisdom and courage? How can you practice justice in your relationships and temperance in your desires? The beauty of Stoic virtue is that it is always within your reach. You don't need to wait for the perfect circumstances. You can choose to live virtuously right now in this moment. As you breathe deeply, allow yourself to align with these virtues. Let them guide you, knowing that they are the true source of peace and happiness. When you live with virtue, you create an unshakable foundation of inner peace that no external circumstance can disturb. This focus on virtue leads us naturally into the unity of all things, a key Stoic concept. The Stoics believed that everything in the universe is interconnected. Just as every cell in your body works together to keep you alive, everything in the world works together in harmony. You are not separate from the world around you. You are an integral part of it. Right now, as you lie here, think about your connection to everything around you, the people in your life, the natural world, the events of your day. Everything is interconnected, and you are part of this greater whole. The Stoics believed that understanding this interconnectedness can bring peace, because it reminds us that we are not alone. We are part of something much larger, and our actions ripple out into the world in ways we may not fully understand. Take a deep breath and imagine yourself as part of this vast, interconnected web. Your life, your choices, and your actions are all part of a much larger system. There's a deep sense of peace that comes from recognizing that you are not isolated. You are part of the flow of life, and everything that happens is part of the greater journey. The Stoics taught that when we understand this unity, we can let go of the need to control and instead focus on living with wisdom and virtue. As you breathe, feel the connection to everything around you. You are not separate, but an integral part of the whole. This connection to the world around you ties directly into the Stoic practice of the illusion of control. The Stoics believed that much of our suffering comes from our desire to control things that are beyond our reach. The world is constantly changing, and we cannot predict or control what will happen next. But what we can control is our response. Imagine, for a moment, letting go of the need to control everything. You cannot control other people, you cannot control the future, and you cannot control the forces of nature. But you can control how you react to the world. Right now, as you lie here, reflect on the areas of your life where you've been trying to control things. What if you let go of that need for control? What if you embraced the flow of life, knowing that you can't control everything, but you can control how you respond? The Stoics believed that peace comes when we accept that we cannot control everything, and instead focus on what we can control: our actions, our thoughts, and our reactions. As you breathe deeply, let go of the need to control. Feel the freedom that comes with releasing that grip, and allow yourself to sink deeper into peace. Finally, let's reflect on the freedom of acceptance. The Stoics believed that the key to peace is not in changing the world, but in accepting it as it is. Right now, think about the areas of your life where you've been fighting against reality. Maybe it's a situation you wish were different, or an emotion you've been trying to suppress. The Stoics would remind you that true freedom comes when we accept life as it is, without resistance. Take a deep breath and imagine fully accepting the present moment. You don't need to change anything right now. You can just be here, in this moment, fully at peace. This is the freedom of acceptance, the freedom to let go of the need to control, to change, or to fix anything. You are enough, just as you are.